great word for today because it is 100% like where my brain is, what is happening for me in this entire week has been completely bananas, but that's not the word, but it could be. But my brain is so just overwhelmed by distractions. I'm struggling to focus in on the thing at any given moment this week.
Welcome to Neurospicy Dialogues, where our word of today is distractions. I'm Cara Jean.
I am Kimberly.
Distractions. Yeah.
So this is another one of those where like I have no idea where we're gonna go. And my energy, like full disclosure, y'all, my energy is like a little low because I've had some stuff this week. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all, we've all been there. And I could like perform beyond. We were talking a second ago before we started about like masking and how we have to, there are times in life where we have to uh, uh, let the distractions take a back seat to the thing we need to do right now. And so there's a part of me that's kind of divided, and I'm like, do I want to show up and do I want to be energetic and do I want to like entertain in some way for this conversation today, or do I want to take the mask off and then just let the distractions come out and just let it be what it's going to be? And
Permission for either, whichever shows up. Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't decided. So I don't know which of me, the mask or the unmasked. I don't know.
Depends on where the conversation goes, I suppose. Yeah.
I think so.
Distractions. This doesn't give reference to what we were talking about, but it wholly does. Distractions are one of those things that I love to talk about because we have to be aware of them and we need to manage them, but we also need to balance that with times where we're not managing that, where that's not actually the expectation, because hypervigilance is exhausting, but awareness is crucial. There are a lot of distractions on average in 20. So this is a statistic from 2023. In 2023, the average adult received anywhere between 3,000 to 30,000 offers a day.
Okay.
Between commercials on your phone and things on the radio and your friends saying, hey, you want to go to coffee? There's a lot of offers in the world.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, and the billboards that you see and the like all the, yeah, there's so many subtle offers, not even overt ones.
Is one of my favorite cities for that because Portland layers its signage so that there are distractions for walkers, there are distractions for bikers, and then there are distractions for people driving their car. And depending on how you navigate the city, there are different offers coming at you. It's fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like Portland.
I know.
I'm intrigued. And I'm also annoyed.
And distracted.
Right. Because can we just have like a an offer free zone? Like, do I have to go to a park to go to a place where nobody can sell or pitch me anything and it can just be me doing my thing?
Yeah, and well, except no, because these days, no, you can't even just go to the park because somebody's going to come sell you these tamales, right? Which I do love. Please don't stop selling me the tamales. I love them so much. But even that you can't do, right? And anywhere that has service, that means your phone could be dinging at any offer and thing that comes up. In my childhood, there were days that could go by where you didn't engage with anybody outside of your home because there wasn't that kind of connectivity that allowed for that. And we just don't have. So now if you do want to go somewhere pretty and green that if somebody's not going to sell, you have to go way out and find a place where you have no service.
Well, now maybe this is just me because I wasn't raised with phones, so it's not I mean, we had them in the home. I'm not 1,000 years old, but we didn't have them in the pocket. Um, so I love leaving the house without my phone. And I, most of the time, even when I'm home, like I have the ringer turned off. So I'm not being bombarded with
Yeah.
stuff from either like friends just saying, do you want to do this kind of offer, or like a capitalist commercial offer that's
Right.
coming into my world,
Yeah.
because that drives me crazy.
It's surprising how many people are uncomfortable setting their phone down. I don't leave the house without my phone, but that's only because my wallet's attached to it, because otherwise I'll lose both of them. So at least if they're together, there's one thing to keep track of.
And you're a mom. So like different rules
And
apply because you need to be
yeah,
reachable because you've got a
just
kid.
in case.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will 100%. If I lose my phone, I can't find it because the ringer's not on. Guaranteed. There's You can call it all you want, but I can't hear it. It will always
Uh-uh.
vibrate. Yeah. And I'll just set it down. I'll just walk into a place, set it down, and walk away from it. And that is really stressful for some folks. I have watched one of the things that the community does is that they will have like a box outside of a meeting, and everybody can leave their phone in the box so that the meeting can be phone free. And you watch as these youngers, it's usually the youngers, anyone under the age of 30, and they're just like, before they can just let it go. It's intense, the connection that we have attached
Yeah.
that is called
Yeah.
what a distraction.
Yeah. Okay. So if you are that person and you don't like to give your phone away, so I have a hack for that, because I have two phones. And I've actually known people who would do this. They would have like a dummy phone, which would be the one that they hand over so that they could keep their real phone with them. So if I ever, like in TSA or whatever, if anybody said, we need to see your phone, which, these days is a thing that can happen when you're walking down the street receiving offers. You can get that one. Like, we need to see your phone, with a guy in a mask. Yeah, I would give them the lesser
Burner.
used phone. So because it has like, I don't use it for apps or anything else. It's a smartphone, but it's pretty much just used for calls for that particular phone number, and texts obviously with that particular number. But as far as socials or anything, I'm not huge on socials, but all of that is on the other phone, which I would not give over unless,
Like, no, thank you.
yeah, that's why having the ringer turned off is good, because you don't want to give them the secondary phone. We'll just call it that because it's whatever it is. And then suddenly your other phone rings. That would suck.
Yeah, that would really suck. They're like, no, we'll take that one too. Dang it.
Whose phone is that? What? That's not, is that
You hear
yours?
that?
I don't,
Just
I
hear
don't
it
know what
ringing.
that
That's
is.
so weird.
I don't know.
We used to use that same hack for wallets when we were traveling in Mexico, just in case you got pulled over. So or if you were haggling, that whatever wallet you had first had the lesser amount of money, and then the
Uh-huh.
other wallet with the rest of it was tucked away somewhere else. That way,
Right.
if that wallet gets taken or it gets seen or whatever thing happened, it's the lesser. You'd be like, oh, I only have 200 pesos. That's all I got.
Yeah,
Look, my wallet. That's all that's there.
exactly. Also good if you're in a place that has pickpockets galore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Italy I did that. There was this is where anyone sees the money is. Nobody sees where the real money is.
Right. Yes. Then there's the other spaces.
Exactly. And you go into the bathroom and you trade money over, and
Yes. Yep. Yes. Yep.
yep.
It's just a safety precaution around other humans. It's not silly.
It is. Well, it's a way that we offer a distraction for them so they don't see the truth. They see the smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Because sometimes distractions are real and sometimes distractions are smoke and mirrors.
Yes. And sometimes they will derail you and sometimes they will put you back on track. That's so I'm in the car today. Hi, everyone. Because I'm traveling, it just worked out that way, that's how life lifed. And I realized that having so the whole trip is going to be about 10 hours round trip. So 10 hours of windshield time. And I find that one of the most distractionless spaces where I can just exist looking and being like you have to pay attention to lots of things while you're driving. But I've done it for so many decades that it's not a huge weight on my brain, and the rest of my brain can go just flitter off and do other things, sing songs, tell stories, track narratives. Sometimes I spend time marketing, thinking of things.
Yes. Yeah, driving around is awesome. I know also because kids, um, it's a great way to put a kid to sleep is to just
Yeah,
put them in that car seat and just the motion of it. So maybe
yeah.
like there's whatever it
And
is that puts kids to sleep. Maybe like it does the same thing for us as not going to sleep, but it like relaxes and it soothes. There's the perfect word. It soothes us in a way.
because I have spent a lot of time in vehicles in my life and I do find them soothing. I
Yeah.
don't sleep well in the car, but I am usually calm in the car.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think because cars have been around for a while, unlike the cell phone, uh, we grew up in cars too. And so I never asked my mom, like, did you ever put me in the car and to get me to sleep or whatever? So I don't know if I have that attachment in my brain and
Right.
body, but yeah.
My mom did say that she used to put us on top of the dryer, like in the car seat, so that the dryer would do the thing,
Uh-huh. That's
and then
cool.
we pass out. Yeah,
I
back
like
when
that.
dryers rocked. Now they've tried to make that not a thing so much anymore. But they used to rock and roll.
Yes. Yeah. That spin cycle. Oh no, that
Yes,
would be the washer. The washer had the spin cycle. The dryer did not.
either way, the dryer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dryer.
Our dryer just had like a hum, but yeah, the washer, like it would when it would hit that spin cycle, it would I remember when I was a kid, like it would rock
Really?
so much, it would like move like the footprint of
Yeah.
it would adjust.
Walk across the room. Yes. Uh
Yes.
huh. Hmm. Yes.
Oh my.
Back when appliances used to walk, and you would have to call the internet. We sound like crazy.
Yeah.
That was real though. That was a thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. I used to have a MindSpring account. Do you remember back
Mm,
when there was a MindSpring? Like
Brady.
in the early days of like AOL,
Yeah.
MindSpring was
Remember
a
the art
different
product? Sorry, go.
option. I don't know art
Mine's
product. What?
no the AOL. That's always makes me think of because AOL had the discs, right? And they were everywhere for free for everyone. Like at every gas station, at every grocery store, at every shopping complex, right up front were the AOL, and you just put in the disc, you put in your CD, and it would upload AOL into your computer. And there were so many of those DVDs that there was a huge art movement when AOL stopped being the thing and we all had Google and Microsoft, where people would go around and collect them to make big old art pieces out of them. Fantastic.
Very cool. Another Portland thing?
That was a Seattle one, but yeah, big
Okay.
city. Yes. Yeah. And tech place, right? So Seattle was big into the tech. So tech art, like CDs, was very popular.
Okay. I was in Atlanta then, so didn't have a lot of that there,
No,
unfortunately,
that would
because
have been
that would have
different.
been pretty cool.
Yeah. But now when people talk about AOL, that's what my brain sees, and not any of the rest of
Nice.
it. AOL's
Okay.
for art. Oh wait, no, right. It was access to online. Got it. I remember that.
And I think I still like every now and then I come across somebody who gives me an AOL email address and I'm like,
Absolutely.
really? It's still there?
Yes. AOL is still a thing. And what is it? It's America Online? No.
I think
What
so.
did AOL stand? Is that all it was?
I think so. It fits. We'll say it is.
Yeah, sure. Somebody will comment if we're incorrect. Thank you so much.
Yes, exactly.
What a
Uh,
wild time back when the internet was new. Do you remember early chat rooms? Did you ever do chat rooms back on the green screen chat rooms?
I did not. Like I had friends that did and I heard about them, but I didn't because, you know, introvert dyslexia. So getting into a thing where it's all
That's
like type and read to communicate with people, it
not your
never
jam.
was my thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did have friends who did that. But I couldn't wrap my brain around like why that would be so freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
Why
We
don't we just
we
sit
would
around
chat
over
with
coffee
folks.
and talk?
Yeah. Because you couldn't reinvent yourself back when we knew that people lied on the internet because we were lying on the internet. We would get on the internet, we would create full personas and go and talk to people because you were like 20 years old, like so grown up, like major mature. And we're like all this. Sometimes we were men, we would go on and create male profiles and watch how people treated you differently when you had a man name versus a girl name. Yeah,
Nice. Well, I was an actor, so like I was pretending in that
in real life.
way. So again,
Yeah,
and the subversive part of it, where you were tricking someone in that way, that I don't know that that would have occurred to me then.
fair. That's fair.
I was very much a rule follower. Yeah,
I just assumed every rule was designed to be bent.
I
Not
eventually got
broken.
there. I eventually got there, but it would it yeah, I was very much a rule follower, and it's like because I think my brain just needed to understand the environment. So I would like,
Yeah,
what are the rules that exist in this world, in this room, so that I can adapt myself to them.
sure. Yeah.
Uh, However, the other side, my brain is like so. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if like are the lobes connected because they feel like they work so independent of one another. And sometimes I'm like, y'all don't necessarily because y'all are doing opposite things so much of the time. So there was that happening, but at the same time, there was also once the other part of my brain that was understanding the rules and seeing what I could do within them
Right.
and how I could adapt. So I was adapting myself to the rules, but then I was also adapting the rules to my purpose.
Yes.
And so it was always about because you don't want to get caught. So
Right.
what
That's
can I
terrible.
do where I'm going to leave no trace? And you really have to understand the room to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And so those were the kind of things that for me that was probably the only like type of mischief that I would ever get into. And I didn't really think of it as mischief. I just thought of it as um maybe manipulating um
Play.
my own
Sure.
little Machiavellian worldview of I I want to achieve this thing. They don't want me to achieve this thing. So they be, whatever for that situation.
Right. Whoever
And
they are.
then how do I um use what they've given me to still achieve it with even though they don't want me to achieve it.
Even though, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that helps me as a coach a lot now because it's all about like, so this is the system. All right. So how do we adapt the system to your needs?
Yes.
Yeah. And pretty much every developer I've ever met, I'm like, if you need something beta tested, I am your girl because I will use it in ways that you hadn't anticipated it being used. Therefore, I will find problems that you didn't know existed. And so I
Yes.
am a fabulous beta tester. Because even before, like once something is out on the market, I can't tell you the number of times I have called customer service and said, okay, it's doing this. And they're like, no, that doesn't happen. I'm like, I'm telling you it does because I'm
And yet
looking
here we
right
are.
at it. I realize in most use cases, it doesn't. And you probably haven't encountered this before, but I may be using it a little off label in a way that has caused this thing to happen. Now, I
Here we
need
are.
you to find someone who can help me because
Tangled
this
it.
is this is probably outside the scope of your training. No shade to you, but
Right.
this might be like developer level.
I love that. I heard you say your brain works at different, like the logic side and the creative side can sometimes be doing their own thing. And then to hear how your logic brain is like, we need to understand and absorb all of the rules. Those are important to know. And your creative is your side is like, so we can mess them up. Yes.
Yes, because I want to shuffle that deck, man. Okay, so you give me the cards in a certain order. Fantastic. My logic brain wants to understand that. My creative brain wants to throw those cards into the air and then just make mischief.
New card pickup. Let's go.
52 card pickup. Yes.
My brain works in a not dissimilar way. The logic side wants to understand the systems, needs to know, right? Like really needs those structures for the creativity. How else do you know you're coloring outside of the lines if you don't know the lines are there? I will color outside the lines, but I'd like to know I'm doing it. Rebels.
Yes. Although I don't see myself as a rebel. That's
No,
why I kind of like, am I not really? Because I still see myself as because when I think of rebels, I think of like rebels, like people who really shake up the world and folks like Cher, Madonna, people who really rattle the cages and say, I'm going to turn everything that you believed things should be totally on their head. And I don't think I do that. I think I'm so much more boring than that. Which I mean, I
I
don't
don't know.
mind it because I know I could, like, if I wanted to, I could change it if I wanted to. But like, I dress really boring and I'm not like wild and crazy. I think that's fun, but it's also exhausting
It is.
because I've been around friends who are like that. And again, super fun to be around them, but it's
Right.
so draining for me. And I'm like, I don't think I could do that 24/7.
Like this was so fun. I now need a nap. Thanks.
I'm not built to be a rebel
That's fair. It
in
does
under
take
under my own brain's
conditioning.
definition of rebel, granted.
Sure.
So, and maybe
And
that's
it
why
does
I
take
think
conditioning.
it's, yeah, yeah.
Why you think that?
Oh, maybe that's, I mean, I don't, maybe rebels don't see themselves as rebels, and that's part of what makes them a true rebel.
Fair. They just think they're doing what's right.
Yeah. Or whatever, fits them.
Yes.
So to some people, I might seem like I'm a rebel, which would be awesome. I would love to think that. I would love to think that somebody saw me as a rebel. That would be cool. So if anybody out there wants to say, Kimberly, you're such a rebel,
I mean,
you.
I I would have put you in that category just because you do spend a great deal of time going, "Oh, look, let's turn this upside down. Look at it now." Literally turning people and their thoughts and their preconceptions on their head.
Cool. Yay.
Under that
I
definition, I think I'm also a rebel.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I would say
In
that they're
weird little ways.
mhm.
I mean, I probably some big ways. Some I live in an eco village, so that's pretty rebellious just in general. Um, but like it's the little things. Like we were planting with the kids in the garden the other day, and we planted a bunch of tomatoes. But we had planted them in a kids' garden that had we had prepped the bed with cardboard and then canvas, and then put the dirt and stuff on top of it. And we couldn't get the things that go over the the, the roundy funnely guys that go
Mhm.
over the tomatoes to get into the
Yep.
ground. And I was like, what if we just turned it like upside down? And they were like, oh. So we just buried the big round part at the top and twisted the spikes at the end. And we were like, well, that works great. Oh, excellent.
Yep.
Turning things on their head.
One person who is a problem solver to somebody else would see that and go, "You're a rebel." Yeah.
Really, just how we interpret distraction. Haha, I brought it back again.
Well done. Yeah. Oh, brains.
Is it just me? I'm going to do this now. Is it just me? Or does your brain argue with itself? Yeah.
Not just you. Yeah.
Okay. Like full on disagreements. And the more aware of I am of it happening, the louder it gets.
Hmm. All right. Describe to me like what is happening in your brain because what's happening inside yours is probably different than what's happening inside mine. So I want to understand
Sure.
yours.
The most recent one that was really, really loud, and it was maybe 6 months ago. Um, I was I was remapping my own brain. Like I was really doing some active work. It was in parallel with the genetic edge coaching stuff that we do. And it was so linked into all of the neuroscience. And I was really diving deep again into that space with the new things that were coming out. And I could feel my brain remapping with the new information. Like I could, because I could understand what was happening conceptually. I could then visualize it happening in my brain, and then I could feel the feel of it. And my frontal cortex and my brain stem started arguing. And my frontal cortex, have I done this? I was like, hey, so uh, electrical signals. Did you know that electricity on soft tissue is really bad for the soft tissue? We should check into that. And my brain seems like, yeah, absolutely. For everything that you're paying attention to, that makes total sense. However, this particular electricity is designed for the brain. So it's totally fine. It's not actually causing any damage. My frontal cortex is, yeah, that totally makes sense. But did you know that it's really not good for electricity to be on? And my brain seems like, look, dude. And it went back and forth like a volley. And they're just getting madder, like trying to be understanding and like trying to get it, but also struggling both back and forth for a long time. And my face faces when things like this are going on, right? When I'm unmasked, I think I'm alone. Like I will have this face will have this one and this one will have this kind of conversation. This will be like, yeah, no, I get it. But so I'm literally having a full blown conversation with myself. My husband walks in the middle of it. He's like, everything okay? I was like, we're just arguing. It's neurodevelopment. It's fine electricity. He was like, oh, okay. That's fine.
Oh, okay. My brain doesn't do that.
Okay. That could just be a me thing.
But I'm sure it's not just a you thing. Um, sorry, because I know how your face faces. So I'm just imagining me witnessing you having one of those moments.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's what I'm enjoying the thought of that, my imagined experience of watching you
Well,
uh
doing it today.
is awesome.
Yeah. Being in community, I get caught doing that more than I've ever in my life. People will just come around a corner and and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm great." Just having a consultation with myself when we were in disagreement. Fine. Fine.
Uh, so are you able to, I'm going to bring it back around a little bit. Are you able to have a distraction? Like, is it helpful to, if you wanted to leave it, could a distraction help you? Or do you
Yeah.
like to like just let go and let those conversations conclude themselves?
Yes. So sometimes I need some sort of pattern interruption to jump it off. Other times, it does just fine to follow the narrative and see where it's going to go. Sometimes they go a little overboard. And at that point, then I just need them to stop. And that's where the distraction comes in handy. I'll get locked into, the same way that I'll get locked into physical stimming or vocal stimming and just start doing for far too long until somebody's like shakes the brain out of that space. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah. So, yeah, sometimes I like to follow it through to its end and see where it's going when I have the space and time to do that. Other times I'm like, somebody snap her girl out.
Have you ever thought of giving like one of the two sides like a safe word or something so they could have permission to like break it?
Oh, no, I will now. Everyone in the Council of Cara has a safe word, so it would make sense that each lobe would get one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gonna be fun to find out what shows that.
And I always thought that was a fun thing that they did in Ted Lasso, where the word Oklahoma is like the truth. It cuts through. So if somebody says Oklahoma, you have to stop pretending and say what you're actually feeling. Oklahoma. I'm miserable today. Okay, cool. So
Yeah,
if the brain had something that would just,
allow it to leap out when it doesn't want to play. Oh, I like
yeah.
that. We use that in the home life. Like, we have different safety words for different conversations so that you could preface a conversation. Because, if you need to talk about dishes in the sink or the toilet paper not getting changed, there's such continuous conversations they can build up a lot of charge. But if you know that you're coming into that conversation, it's not me coming at you. I'm not mad about anything, but we're going to have to talk about some house stuff. Like, this is an armadillo conversation. You don't need to be armored up. The armor is built in. Those are really handy.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I find like safe words are so cool to and can be employed in so many different ways because it creates a safe space. We're going to talk about this thing. I know you might get a little riled up or triggered on it, but I just want to say I'm not coming in with that, so I'm using the safe word to start it.
Yeah.
So your nervous system reacts to the safe word and takes that breath, knowing okay, something's
Mm-hmm.
going to happen.
Not actually being attacked right now.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
brain, if you caught me from just sideswiped me with it, yes, I would be, what are you talking about? I didn't do that. But if you give me that
You do.
warning, yeah.
Yes. It's substantially easier to navigate household conversations if you have them organized in a way where you can articulate in advance what needs to be discussed.
Yes, and nobody feels attacked in the conversation
Yeah.
because you don't know where their head might be that day in that moment, and it gives them a
Yeah.
chance to adjust.
Rather than coming at them because that's what's on your brain.
Exactly. Exactly. So safe words. Yeah. From distractions
Safe words
to safe words.
and internal monologue conversation.
Yeah. And ways to manage those with distractions or safe words.
We're
Because,
gonna have fun with it.
yeah, you're definitely not alone in having those. The unique way in which your brain communicates with itself fascinates me.
Yeah,
Simply, and it
we're a
fascinates
lot.
me in the way, not that there's anything, like,
Right.
how strange is that? But it's, I don't experience that. And I am so curious about what that experience is like and how you navigate that as a human being in spaces where it may not happen at optimal moments.
Where my face faces without my permission. Ooh, yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I heard once that I mean, not once, I've heard many times, but that there's a whole sect of the population who has no internal monologue. You're nothing inside their brain. And I have so much curiosity. I have so many questions on what that is like because I cannot even conceptualize.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't conceptualize the music that you have
All of the
all
time.
the
Yeah,
time.
fair.
Yeah. Also fascinates me. How does that work? Um,
Natalie Merchant by
yeah.
Wonder. Wonder by Natalie Merchant. That's what's playing right
Is that what's happening now? Nice. Cool. Cool.
now. It was Jewel earlier.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like having a constant radio station or you're
The
serious.
fact that other people don't have that. What kind of bandwidth do they have? I guess is one of my big questions on that. Like, so if you don't have constant distractions going on in your own brain, are you able to be more aware of the external distractions? I have questions.
Yeah. Intriguing. Yeah. Again, my brain is like, oh, it's so busy in here. And the other one is like, yeah, but we can flip that switch off.
Just make it quiet.
Yeah, it's a problem. We can just do that. And yeah, I can. Like I can have like busy brain happening, which is what this week has been, which is exhausting. But I also am able to just turn it off. So, like, I think if I did have the radio thing, it's almost like I would have a switch where I could turn it off
I can turn it
and
up or
not hear
down.
the music all the time. Nice. I'm glad you can adjust the volume. That's good.
I don't have an on off. There's just something like
That's helpful. Yeah. If you couldn't, then it would be like tinnitus or something where it's just
that would be
always
all.
there at that same pitch. And yeah, that talk about a distraction. That would be very challenging for me.
I having one of those moments. I wonder if the music, oh, this is fascinating. I wonder if the music is attached to pain because I also manage my pain the same way with a volume dial.
Mm-hmm.
And I do live in chronic pain. So I wonder if they're attached. I'm gonna play with that. I don't know. Could
Interesting.
be. Fascinating.
Can you use the music as a distraction for the pain?
Sometimes. But if the pain is high, I have to turn the volume on the sound down for the music for the pain to also go down to be able to turn
Okay.
that dial down. They must be linked. Huh.
Hmm.
My brain is fascinating.
You rebel.
I'm going to be distracted by that for the next 2 hours of my drive.
Yay. I like that. I like that for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll be thinking about you thinking about that, which is pretty cool because that's a good distraction for me to be thinking about you doing
Yeah.
that because then it distracts me from life in the moment. Yeah. This has been an incredible conversation.
But
We
knew that
started
this
off
was where it
once
was going to go.
again having no idea uh, uh, what parts of us were going to show up. And I am so excited we had this conversation. I'm so excited that you joined us for this conversation from home or wherever you are in the world, in your life, in your driveway, whatever. And we can't wait to chat with you again. This has been Neurospicy Dialogues. I am Kimberly,
Cara G.
and we will talk to you
Bye.
soon.